Man, the dude at the store, that was crazy. What the? Where's that coming from? This thing leaking or something? Anyway, the man at the store, he gonna say, I'm in Walmart. One dude peep in the aisle, then he peep back. Carcino! I'm okay, he's somebody from the internet. But let's see if he knows me. Carcino! What's up, man? I forgot what you said your handle was, but I do remember your name. Shout out, Fred. Hey, Fred. It was cool meeting you, Fred. Thank you. He said, yeah, man, I've been watching you and Kwame, man. You've been blowing up this week, boy. Man, I'm telling you, I love that, man. I'm riding with y'all, man. But I'm telling you, though, man, Stevie A do got a point, though, man. He made it personal. I'm like, bruh, how? Everybody was talking basketball, and he just went off. I'm loving it. I'm just saying. And I'm like, it's been about 2 weeks. People still talking about basketball? Is that all you hear? They're trying to change the narrative to keep it on basketball. When somebody say, man, why y'all gotta be so disrespectful towards me? That's what he basically saying. Like, for 20 years, y'all have been nothing but disrespectful to that man. For 20 plus years. Vente. 20 plus. So for 20 plus years, y'all have been disrespectful to this man. And it might be other people that's fooled like this. And Fred, I didn't have time to go into it with you. I told you I was going to make a video on it. So I was going to address other people who thought like you thought. And to take that narrative. Because that's what they use that power media platform for, is to change narratives. Okay? They're changing the narrative to be about basketball so that you would assume that Kwame Brown was engaged in this basketball talk. He never was mentioning basketball. He was mentioning respect of athletes and how they're tearing down African American athletes. That's all he was talking about. They changed the narrative to we was just talking about basketball and how much of a bum you were, and like, that's personal. When you go like at that range that they were going, it was personal. I mean, think about it. He's been out of the league 20 years. The man was, like what she was stating, was honestly involved in that trade. Why did you feel a need to go out your way to poke fun at him not being in the trade when, like, oh, there was only one player in that trade? A Kwame Brown joke. Like, why would you want to joke on him like that? Man, it's 20 years later. Let it go. So now that it blown up to this fact, and it wouldn't have got this big, people, had they had not stood up on that high horse of theirs and decided they were above an apology. That's what they all did. Even Charlemagne, who sit up there and sat his butt down up there and did a fake apology after sending a cease and desist letter. Only when that backfired that he sent the cease and desist letter. And it blew up in his face. did he now come out and see the error in his ways and apologize? So no, they didn't accept your apology. But now you can say, I apologize. Nah, we're not stupid. We can see the tricks. We see the games. Okay? So we know what you were doing. Now, let's address the other situation that you guys talk about. Because, see, the thing is that you guys are the haters. But you all love to throw it on everybody else. You and Kwame Brown just a bunch of haters. Y'all clout chasing. Look how many hits and views you got. Y'all clout chasing. What do you think the people that you talking about, what they doing there? If they keep talking about this man for 20 years and doing that, why they got to use somebody who they think is a bust for clout? Don't you guys say that about me and LeBron James? When I used to be a fan of LeBron. When LeBron was a high school kid coming into the NBA, let me tell you something. Everybody who was black wasn't rooting for him. They were rooting for him to fail. You had Darius Miles saying we don't even need him here on the team. Remember that? People were all hoping the guy failed and said, man, why they keep doing this high school damn thing? All y'all was saying that. I was saying, no, I'm like, he got some explosion to his game. I'm like, he should be all right. They've been handling him quite well, a lot different than they've handled any other high school talent that came into the league. I said, he should be all right, man. I hope he do make it, man. You know, and I gave him credit for him to be so young to handle that kind of pressure that the NBA was putting on him. That kind of spotlight, he handled it well. And I said, and I always gave him credit for that because he handled that well. So I rooted for him. Basically, his whole early part of Cleveland was rooting for him. Like, hey, you know, but then I noticed his game wasn't improving. So I kept it basketball, like you said. And they weren't reporting that. Now, their analysts, why are they overlooking all of these flaws in LeBron's games when he's losing every year and not making it? And he made it to the finals and lost. And they never, ever saying nothing bad about him. No critiquing, nothing. So I start saying, well, let me tell the truth about what's going on around here. So I start telling the truth. Once his ego, LeBron's ego, started thinking he was above everything. Ego got out of control. So I told the people the truth about him. And they just sick their dogs on me. Now, when somebody try to stop your way of livelihood of eating and how you feed your family, that ain't personal. That's pretty personal to me. So if I attack LeBron, it's because I have reason to attack LeBron. And I attack him based on what? I don't attack his children. I don't say nothing negative about his children. I keep it on him. And he knows why. His team knows why. They know why. Because they're a bunch of frauds. And I exposed them and brought them all out in the light. Now everybody can see it and see that, damn, Cino was right. This dude is overrated. This dude is a bum. If you want to use the word bum. So I stripped down the money, the power, the fame, all that, and just looked at him as a basketball player and said, buddy, you ain't it. That's what I did to your so-called king, LeBron. But y'all run to praise him. Why? Because you've been brainwashed by media to do so. Now, what do you think Matt Barnes and Stephen A in there, and everybody keeps saying, but Matt Barnes ain't do nothing. Matt Barnes just tapped the leg. Okay. If you down on the floor getting kicked, let's say Steven Jackson was over there kicking Kwame Brown on the ground. And the buddy sitting next up to him laughing. And when he done, he high five him. Ha ha, high five. And you on the ground seeing that. What you gonna think about him? And you when you see him next? You gonna say, oh, well, all you did was laugh and high five him. To me, you with him. You getting it too. I've seen people get it for less. For chuckling. Dog, you chuckled, dog. You was with him. I mean, dog, I've seen people punched out for less than what Matt Barnes did. He was co-signing. Everybody know what happens with the co-signer, right? You co-sign for somebody for getting a car. Guess what, co-signer? You responsible. Just as that other person. And he co-signed when he was hitting Jack on the leg. Like, oh, Jack, they mentioned Kwame. You know, like, come on, man. Don't throw stones and hide your hands. If you gonna be in it, you in it. You know, ride with Steven. And you want to leave Steven Jackson on the island? Man, I swear, some of y'all are delusional, man. So, Fred, I hope I answered that question for you. And you made me forget something at Walmart. Now I got to go back. Thanks, Fred. Talking with you. And no, I don't think Logan Paul has a chance, Fred. Again. Well, it's almost like I can't blame people for it because this is not a people thing. This is a person thing. And as a person, I wouldn't like to see a lot of attacks, but they kept it going. Okay, if you think he was doing it for clout chasing, then Gilbert Arenas, he could have stayed on Gilbert Arenas all day. And he could have really said some things about Gilbert. But he didn't. He stopped. Because him and Gilbert talked on the phone and they cool. They came to an understanding. He hadn't said another word about Gilbert Arenas, has he? Has he? He stopped. Because him and Gil talked and they were cool. Matt Barnes still wanted to play tough guy and challenge the man to a fight. So let that sink in, people. Y'all keep omitting what other people are doing and focused on a man who's retaliating and trying to make him out to be the bully. That's a tactic they've used against us for years. All through the civil rights movement. We retaliate against the people that are attacking us. Then they go on their mega platforms and tell the world that we're savages and we only want violence. And the media, the people who sitting at their homes and watching their news with their families and eating dinners, they're believing it. Like, oh my God. See, I told you, don't talk to the Fred kids and let them play with each other. They could turn at any moment. Like, did you hear what the television said? It's probably an imbalance they're born with. They're savages. You see? And that's how they poison you. Now, they don't have to do it. They just pay Stephen A. Smith. They pay Steven Jackson, Matty Barnes, and Mike Wilburn, all the rest of them. Like he called it, the go along, get along gang. Put them all in a row and say, y'all do my work. Now, when LeBron tried to play this man of the people, I'm like, I had to call him out on it. And I didn't tell Kwame Brown what to say about LeBron and how to bring up LeBron James' name. I didn't tell him to do that. He did that on his own because he's a grown man. I don't have to. I'm not somebody that has to get everybody on my side to fight for me. I could stand. I'm one that could stand before billions. That's me. I can stand in front of billions and will not change my mind unless you have some concrete evidence. My mind ain't being changed. How I feel is how I feel, and what I believe is what I believe. And right is right and wrong is wrong. That's just the way it is. Now, if LeBron was a stand-up man, I would say, hey, he's a stand-up guy. He's doing this and this, but I think he's trying to play a role and use the people and manipulate people. Then I'm going to tell you that. And he's definitely manipulated the game of basketball with the help of the NBA. They keep promoting and pushing him because they think that's what we want to see. That's what some of the sheep want to see, but not the people that actually know this game. They're like, that's fake. But anyway, he tried to bring up the school, and then most of these people grab it and run around with that information. LeBron built the school. LeBron built the school. That's what he did for the community. He built the school. And he got all these charities. LeBron built the school. Now, we've already debunked what that school really was. We debunked all of it and told you how little LeBron has to do with that school, even to this day. So we're not going to rehash this all over again because we've already done it. But it goes to show you how they fool you with images. LeBron puts on these glasses that he never wears in public. But this time he wants to wear some Malcolm X-like glasses and get in there in a civil rights suit and come sit down and talk to somebody. His wife didn't even dress up for the occasion. She in house shoes that morning. Walking to the ESPN's interviewing him as they're trying to prove and show like we're socially conscious. It's insulting when people like Jalen Rose, who's had a charter school, there's other players that have charter schools that take donations so the people don't have to pay money for it. LeBron schools, you're paying the money. All you people in there giving him credit, y'all should give yourself credit. Y'all taxes are paying for that school. The state dictates what education is going to be taught there. If you have a charter school, you dictate what is taught into the school. Like Jalen's school, those people, they had their first graduating class that year. And now the school is one of the highest rated schools out there for a charter school. The education level and the graduation rate is in the high 80s to 90s. So it's working. It's working. And there are other athletes that have charter schools as well. They're doing something, but ESPN don't highlight that. And I was glad when Jalen saw this as the opportunity to highlight his school and put it in the lights. When they start bringing that up, and he was, whoa, wait. I've had a school. Like, don't just say LeBron's the only one to do. No, we've all got our schools. Y'all just chose not to mention it on this show. You see? Now, everybody has flaws, right? Everybody has flaws. So even if you do a good deed, that's cool. But if you do something that I don't agree with or think is something left, I'm going to let the people know about it. Because that's what you do. Okay, there is no light there. But that's what you do. So when you see somebody like myself make a statement, I got to change the light bulb in here. That's why I'm looking. This light went out. See the lights in the cabinet? Gotta change that damn bulb. Damn, hate that. Gotta go back to Walmart anyway. But that's what I was talking about the first time around. Y'all keep trying to make it about something that it's not. I was talking about something else entirely. Entirely. And Kwame Brown was talking about something entirely. So why are you not listening? I heard him when he spoke. And I heard what he was saying. It was about the way the media, you know, we're on the internet, but the way the media tears down other black athletes, they don't do it for white ones. They don't. They don't tear them down at all. Whites don't do that. They don't tear down Tom Brady to promote Eli Manning, or they might disagree and say, oh, I think Tom had help and all this stuff. But I don't think it was that way. They honored Drew Brees and Tom Brady. They never said, man, Drew Brees is a failure. All he got is that one Super Bowl. He didn't live up to his expectations. Skip Bayless is the only one that ever put the blame on Aaron Rodgers. Besides that, other media, they praise Aaron Rodgers. This guy is keep failing every year. Do that. I never seen Matthew Stafford get beat up in the media because he got numbers. It was always somebody black didn't do what he had to do. Blame someone else. And that was acceptable and wasn't challenged by anyone in our profession. Well, in the profession, rather. They didn't do it. So, that's all I had to say about it. You know, so when we reconvene, we're going to get back on point. We're going to get back right. What's up? Shout out to y'all out there, man. Oh, you talk about Kwame. Shout out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. Don't forget to subscribe to this page and Kwame Brown's page. And definitely hit the like button. Super chat button works. Oh, don't forget, I am airing out Squirrel Boy today. He will be getting his. So, all of this stuff is happening in due time. But I hope we've answered this question that we keep answering, and people still keep asking it. We've answered this question countless times. Stop saying they were only talking basketball. He was never talking basketball. Kwame Brown has never said, man, listen, I was better than all of those players. I was great. I don't remember him saying anything like that at all. So my thing is, I'm defending someone who I felt was right. When he snapped and went off, I was like, he had a point. And he made people's like, he ain't had no solution or something. Yeah, but I never hear you talk about the solutions. I'm like, what? It's the very first video he told you. Did you not hear him say what they need to do? You just focused on the drama. He told you what needed to be done. He said, look, let's join with me. He didn't even say F y'all. He said, join with me. Me, I'd be like, F y'all. But he's like, no, instead of fighting with me, join with me and help me build these centers. That's what he's talking about. So what do you mean? He gave you solutions. Huh? What? He gave you the solution in the very first video. Am I the only one listening? Or am I the only one whose brain works? I know I'm not alone. There's got to be others who heard him. Raise your hand if you heard him. Or digitally raise your hand. We heard it. So, without further ado, it's your boy Carcito. I'm out. Love, peace, and hair grease.